Hi, my name is Denise O'Reilly and I'm from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And I'm here now to talk to you about interviews and to give you some tips. Now, you get a call informing you that you've been shortlisted for an interview. What do you do next? This can be very scary because you don't do this type of thing every day. But remember that practice makes perfect. So here's some interesting techniques that will help you. From the moment that you enter the reception area, you are being watched. Be courteous and greet the receptionist and office staff. So make sure that you behave in an appropriate manner. Make sure that you are dressed appropriately, neat in your clothing or tie, etc. Enter the reception area at least 15 minutes early. Cell phones should be off or on silent. When you enter the interview room, greet your interviewer by making eye contact and with a firm handshake. Take a seat when you are invited to. There may be more than one person interviewing you, so keep an open mind and be prepared. Okay, just to give you a bit of background information, we are the largest residential university in KwaZulu-Natal. We span over 5 campuses and we are ranked among the top 500 universities in the world. The administrative functions at the university are very important because it facilitates the smooth running of the university. So we, at most times, are usually inundated. The vacancy is for an administrative position, which will report to the manager. So tell me a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 24 years old and I graduated 2 years ago with a Bachelor of Social Science degree. Presently, I work for the government on a part-time basis, and I'm basically looking for something permanent because I want to settle down with my long-time girlfriend this year. And the other reason is I don't like the place where I work because I find my colleagues incompetent.
Okay. According to your CV, you have experience in working in the student environment and with student-related inquiries. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes, I work with government bursaries and our department deals with applicants. And my job entails communicating with the students, with the applicants, and shortlisting them, as well as doing other administrative duties such as filing and data capturing.
Interesting. Can you tell me about a challenging situation that you could have had recently, what the situation was, how you dealt with it, and what the outcome was?
Well, recently we had a situation of a student who had received funding through our offices, and basically the funding didn't go through, and the semester was well on its way, and the student didn't have accommodation, a decent accommodation, and he didn't have funds for his living expenses. So what I did was I phoned the sponsors just to find out that his application form wasn't processed. So I filled in a new form for him, and within 2 days the funds had gone through. So I called the student. He had received the funds and gotten himself a decent accommodation, and his living expenses were taken care of. And yeah, the student was grateful with the help, and I was happy that I could help him.
So let's do a quick recap. Remember to be on time, dress appropriately or conservative casual, do your research about the company, make sure that you know about their products or services, summarize your strengths, what not to do during an interview, don't be aggressive in actions, don't fidget with your phone, hair, watch or anything else that you have on you, don't give yes or no answers, don't leave without understanding what happens after the interview. Now that you've seen the mock interview, have you noticed what he did right and what he did wrong? Let's go over what he did wrong. He was chewing gum, giving out personal information,
Because I want to settle down with my long-time girlfriend this year.
and discrediting his previous employer.
And the other reason is I don't like the place where I work because I find my colleagues incompetent.
He did do some things right though. He made good eye contact. he had a good firm handshake, and very importantly, he explained what he did in his previous employment.
And my job entails communicating with the students, with the applicants, and shortlisting them, as well as doing other administrative duties such as filing and data capturing.
That was a behavioral-based interview. So you may wonder what a behavioral-based interview is. This type of interview is very common, and almost 80% of the questions that you will be asked are based on behavioral type questions. Here, a potential employer is trying to establish your past behavior so as to determine what you would do in the future. Here are a few tips that could help you succeed at a behavioral-based interview. Use this acronym, the STAR technique. In the STAR technique, what you're thinking about is the situation, you're talking about the task, you're talking about the action, you're talking about the result. So what you're doing is telling the employer a story and giving them an ideal look of what you have done and how you accomplish what you have done to get the positive out of it. So you may be asked to give an example of when a project didn't work out, or when you had to show good leadership skills, or how you managed the situation with a difficult customer. When you answer these questions, always try and remain positive and bring the positive out of it. So if you've had colleagues that you didn't work well with, don't speak ill of them. Rather say that it was a learning experience where you've learned about people's behavior and cultures. Another question you may be asked is, what is your greatest weakness? Now, this is a very common question, but the trick here is to turn it into a strength. An example would be, when I first started, I wasn't so sure how to use the Excel package. But I took a crash course, and within 2 months I was okay with it. The point here is to focus on a limitation and turn it into a positive. You're now coming to the end of your interview, and at this stage you shouldn't ask anything about salary. You may be invited by the interviewer to ask questions, and at this stage you can ask questions about the job, about why the job became available, about the time frame as to when you can expect to receive a response to the outcome of your interview. At the end of the interview, thank the interviewers for their time and for the opportunity, and leave the room with a big smile. You are welcome to contact the student counsellor on your campus to set up a mock interview. You are also welcome to visit our website. We at the university would like to wish you good luck with all your interviews.